So you guys get to hear my story. I don't remember the last time I shared my story from stage. So I when I grew up. I grew up in a fantastic family. I didn't grow up, where parents didn't care about me. I didn't grow up not being loved, nothing like that. I grew up in a phenomenal home. And I say that so you don't think like everybody else's story, oh, he was on drugs because he grew up in a bad area. I didn't. I grew up in Loudoun County, great parents. I played travel ball from the time I was like 5 until we moved up here to the Carnes area when I was 13. So I was in baseball, basketball, football, playing sports my whole life, loved it. Even through high school, played sports, absolutely loved being on the field. As I grew up, football became my main focus, and my dad was my coach from the time I was playing t-ball until I graduated high school. And not a lot of people get to say that, but I loved having my dad be there to coach me my entire life. I learned a lot from him and the other coaches that I had. And so with that, I got saved when I was 13 and grew up in a Baptist church. And from there, from the time I was 13 until I was 16, I didn't really have any kind of mentorship or anything like that. I went to a Christian high school, so that was where I got my Bible, but it wasn't a relationship. It's not what I've got now. So then it was a textbook, and it was more of a religion and a checkbox and something that I had to do, something I had to carry around me, something I had to memorize so I could get a C in the class. Notice I didn't say A. I'm not going to lie up here. I was not that student, okay? I made sure that I was passing the first semester of school and the last semester of school so I could keep playing football, and then next year I could play football again. In between, I don't know what happened. It just went downhill. But it was religion. So at 16, I walked away from church. Still going to the Christian high school. I graduated from that high school. I graduated back in 2007. But I turned away from church. I didn't have anybody to bring me up. I didn't know what a relationship looked like. My mom was going through cancer. I didn't feel like anybody was helping me through that. They let go of my mom at where she was working. They told my dad that they didn't want him to coach anymore. And just everything seemed to be coming down. And I was done. I was like, this is what Christian people are. I don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of it. I held people to the standard up here. And guys, if you're holding people, Christians, to stand up here, it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. We're not perfect. We're all human just like you. Okay? Whether you're a Christian or whether you're not, we're going to sin just like you. But the difference is we know that we're forgiven. And we're not holding on to that shame. We're not holding on to that guilt. We're not holding on to pride. We're letting that go, and we're able to release that. And that's because we have a relationship with Jesus Christ. But again, I didn't know what that looked like. So I stopped going to church, stopped going on Sundays, stopped going on Wednesdays. I didn't want any part of it. Didn't want any part of it. Through all this, I still was a good kid, even not going to church and things like that. When I graduated, I went to a small Christian college up in Kentucky. And there is where my roommate introduced me to drinking. Now, that was not my drug of choice. My drug of choice was opiates and Dilaudid and any kind of a downer that I could snort or shoot up. That was it for me. But that drinking that night, I got drunk. I remember briefly running up and down the hallway in my dorm and my roommate chasing me because obviously you're at a Christian college, you can't be drunk, okay? And I am loud. I'm naturally loud. When I'm drunk, I'm 10 times louder. So I'm running up and down the dorms. It's 10 o'clock at night. We're supposed to be in bed. What are they called? RAs? or whatever. He's like, he comes out, is everything okay? My roommate's, yeah, he's fine. Just pushed me back in the dorm. But that was the first time I was introduced to alcohol and drinking. I was 19. Got drunk again later that year. We went to a party up there that I went with a bunch of Kentucky kids that lived in the state and was around. And so we went to a party and got drunk again. Was at that college for a year and got very homesick. Missed my family, missed Knoxville, just missed everything that I was used to. I didn't do well with change back then. I do better with change, a lot better now. Being where I'm at in life, but back then at 19, I did not handle change very well. And so I was homesick. I went home like every weekend when I was up there. So I didn't like it. I came back, connected with a bunch of high school buddies of mine, and just stayed in the past. Talked about our glory days of single A Division I ball here in Knoxville. We were awful. Our best record was 4-8. For those of you who are not sports fanatics, that's 4 wins and 8 losses. It's not good odds. That was our best record while I played. And so, yeah, it was a lot like UT now. But we stayed in our glory days, right? That was our prime time. That's what we loved. And so I couldn't move forward. My life was at a pause. I was at a standstill. I didn't know how to push myself forward. And so with that, I got depressed, and I just didn't know what to do with my life. I liked where I was working. I was working at Home Depot at the time, and had great people I worked around. Loved them, still love them. See some of them today, and honestly, had I not got arrested from there, I probably would still be there. It was just that good of a job. But I got arrested for theft. That was the first time I got arrested. But I just got stuck. And so the first drug I ever did was Adderall. Made me super hyper. Went camping with a buddy, and we didn't have any of our camping stuff up. Didn't have the tent up. Got out there. We started a fire because I'm a pyro. Started drinking, and no tent up. Guys, I don't know about you all. I like having some kind of a structure over me, right? So it's 11 o'clock at night. We still have no tent up. It's starting to get dewy and wet, and he's like, "Bro, I got you. We're gonna take an Adderall, a snort of Adderall." I was like, "What is an Adderall?" He goes, "If you don't have ADHD, it'll make you super hyper." I was like, "All right, man. I mean, let's try. I mean, we gotta get the tent up." So, snorted Adderall, took an Adderall, instantly hit. Lasted like an hour and a half. We got the tent up in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. On top of the Adderall, we were drinking Sparks energy drinks. I don't know if anybody remembers those. Those are awful. Awful. So we're Spark energy drinks, Adderall. Not the greatest combo ever. Woke up the next morning, I am puking green. The drink is literally it's coming out that color. It's awful. So, you think after that night that I would be wise enough not to do anything again. You'd be wrong. The next weekend, we went out camping again. This time, we had Percocets. Because why not? Right? Go from Adderall to Percocets. It was a big jump, but we did it. Again, woke up the next morning, feeling awful. Took a Percocet, feel a little bit better. Again, next weekend. You think I would learn? I'm a little hard-headed. I don't know about you guys when it comes to my life. And so the next week, what do? OxyContin, 80 milligram, why not? So we went from Adderall to Percocet to Oxys in a month. Those of you who don't know pills, OxyContin at the time was like one of the strongest like opiates that you could take for pain. And so we did one of those. That was our weekend. And I'm sure like a lot of you guys, it started off as a weekend thing. And then a weekend thing became a Monday thing. Because it prolonged weekend, right? Memorial Day, Labor Day, Martin Luther King Day. Whatever extended the weekend was great, right? Monday became a Tuesday thing. Tuesday, a Wednesday. A Wednesday, a Thursday. Well, next thing you know, you're at Friday. So you're doing stuff every day, all day. I snorted anything that I could for the first 4 years of my addiction. I didn't care what it was. You didn't have to tell me what it was. You just tell me it was a drug, I was going to put it up my nose. I mean, there was times I had pills, I had no idea what they were, and I was like, man, it's got to do something. At the time when I got arrested, I was taking stuff out of Home Depot to support my drug habit. I did this for probably about a year, and I got caught one time stealing $650 worth of stuff. Because it was my first offense, it was dropped to a misdemeanor, and my drug dealer got me out. He didn't really have a choice. He wasn't in state, and I was selling his stuff. So he gets me out. I go to his place. I'm still selling stuff. At this point, I have graduated from snorting anything I could. Coke, meth, Roxy, Oxy, Xanax, whatever. And I've graduated to shooting up. I don't know if you guys ever told yourself, I'm not going to be this person. I'm not going to be that bad off where I'm going to shoot up. I just won't get to that point. I'll quit before I do that. Well, you guys, I lied to myself very well. I think I was the second best liar next to Satan. So at this point, I'm shooting up. I get clean for about 6 months. I didn't have a community. I didn't go to church. I was talking to a counselor, and I was kind of working out. I was doing everything that looked right to get people off my back. I'm in it for 6 months. I'm under what I call parent house arrest. Yes, I was in my 20s, but I had no place to go, and I didn't want to be on the streets. So my parents took my phone, my keys, any form of communication that I had. So I sat in my basement until my mom took me to the counselor. I sat in the basement until it was time for us to go work out, just staring at a TV, just waiting for time to go by, waiting until I could go out and get another pill. Because at 6 months, I don't know if you guys thought this, I was like, I've got this under control. I could do one like I did on the weekends, and it'd just be a weekend thing for me. Friday night, that's all I'm going to do. Well, it got worse. I got arrested again. Had no idea that I had a warrant out for my arrest. I had just left my drug dealer's house. I was on this back road going back to my parents' place, and I get pulled over for speeding, going like 6 or 7 over. Who pulls you over for going 6 or 7 over? It just doesn't happen. It's ridiculous. So I get pulled over, give him my license, insurance, all that good stuff. He goes back, runs my name. I look up. There's 2 cars behind me now. I'm like, okay, back up. He's by himself. There wasn't another guy. So I'm like, this is back up. It's just normal. He comes back up, says, hey, it's taking a minute. We're trying to run everything and stuff like that. We'll be right with you. Okay. I look up again. There's 3 cop cars behind me. If you've ever had 3 cop cars behind you, y'all know, you in trouble. You going to jail if you got 3 cop cars behind you. I had no idea what had happened. I've got my needle and my rig and everything right in the middle. I've got a Dilaudid in my pocket, and they patted me down. Didn't find the Dilaudid. Thank you, Jesus. Asked me about the needle, and of course, I make up the best excuse ever. It was my friends. I just dropped them off. Like, bro, they've heard that 1,000 times. That was nothing new to them. But luckily, they didn't charge me for the needle. I had gotten the Dilaudid out of my pocket somehow with my handcuffs behind my back as I'm in the paddy wagon going to jail. I don't know how I did. I think I was more flexible back then. But I was scared. I didn't know, like, what if they find it there? Would I get in trouble for taking it in, even though, like, they didn't find it when they patted me down? Like, obviously, I couldn't get it in the paddy wagon. That would be weird, right? So I was just terrified, scared to death that I was going to get charged with taking this in. So I called my parents. This is the first real time that I let them in on what I was doing. Now, I was naive enough to believe that they didn't know what I was doing for years. They did. Just so everybody knows, people around you know what you're doing. You are not that slick. You are not that smart. You're not that clever to hide what you're doing. And if you believe that, it's the drugs talking, because we ain't. We're very smart individuals, but when it comes to that, we are not. You can't hide your eyes being dilated or not. You can't hide the nod. And you're looking around like, did anybody see me? Yes, everybody in the room saw you go, okay? I'm just letting y'all know. Or if you're in a room and you're talking, all of a sudden you go from talking like 2 or 3 words a minute and you're talking like 100 words a minute. Everybody knows you're on meth or coke. Okay? Just saying. We know. I know now that I was not as clever as I thought. I'm 7 years into my recovery. I'm good, right? Like, I know I was not that slick. I want to think I was. There's still times where it creeps in and it's like, bro, you were good. No, I was an idiot. This is dumb. But it's okay. Called my parents. Of course, the look on their face, they're thrilled to see me. My mom was pissed. I've never seen her face like red. I'm like, oh, geez. I ain't never seen this side of my mom. Still get to their house. You think I would be done at this point? Nope. I'm stinking out. I'm doing whatever I can. When I say we're clever, let me tell you, I got my mom's old iPhone 3 that had not had connection in probably like 4 years. Connected it to our internet, figured out you could download an app to text out to people, and was texting people. Hey, at midnight, I'm going to need you to swing by my house. I'm going to run up. I'm going to be in the dark. Okay, you ain't going to see me. I'm going to jump in your car. If you've got a truck, I'm jumping in the bed. We're just going to go. You just go. Don't stop. If someone yells at you, you better go. I don't know. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you right now, midnight, if you're not here, I'm going to be pissed. Because the moment I leave this house, I ain't going to have a phone. We're going to go get stuff. Wouldn't you know, the first night I did this, it is midnight. I'm like, everybody's asleep. Dad's got to work early the next morning. Like, mom goes to sleep at 9 o'clock. Like, nobody's up. I sneak out the window. I'm starting to run up the hill. All of a sudden, I see dogs running up. I'm like, those dogs look familiar. Those are my dogs. My dad's on the edge of the porch, like looking down. And I'm like, you talk about deer in the headlights. I run, get back in my bed, take everything. I'm stripping down to like sweats and stuff like that. Get in bed and I curl it up and I'm just watching TV. I hear my dad running down the stairs. Did you hear anything? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I was watching TV. Only thing I heard was you coming down. He goes, I saw somebody out there. I'm like, Dad, I didn't hear anything. I've been sitting here this whole time. Didn't hear a thing. He's like, all right. Lo and behold, I thought he went to sleep. Stupid. I try to sneak out again. Go up the same way. He's just sitting on the porch this time. I'm like, oh, dang. He drags my butt inside. Mind you, I am 25. Yeah, 25 at this time. I'm a grown man. He's dragging my butt inside. In my head, I think I can take him. Never think you can take your dad. I don't care how old he gets. He's going to figure out some way to get you. Just keep it in mind. So he drags my butt inside. He's like, you're upstairs now. I'm like, I don't know why I would be upstairs. You think I'm like sneaking out or something? So we're back and forth in an altercation. I'm saying some very nice words to my father. My mom's in the background. Sweet angel baby boy. I probably said some words that she probably hadn't heard in forever. And that's where my rock bottom was. You see, I'm a big family guy. I love my folks. I see them every weekend. If they're not busy doing something with my brother at his gym. Every football season, no matter how bad we are, and we've been bad for 23 years, I am at my parents' place watching UT football. You see, we've been Tennessee fans since '82. That's when my dad played. So I didn't really have a choice in what team I was going for. I was Vol 6 years before I was born. So, with them. Although this year was the first year I questioned. I'm like, hey, are we going to get a new team this year to follow? Or no? Still UT? Okay, cool. But that was my rock bottom. Yelling at my parents. Now, everybody's bottom is going to be different. For some people, it's going to jail 1 time. For some people, it's going to jail 10 times. For others, it's overdosing 1 time. For others, it's overdosing 5 times. Everybody's bottom is different. Everybody gets to that point differently. But that was mine. So I woke up the next morning and told my folks, hey, you all have to send me to rehab. And I was like, you got to do me a favor. You got to send me out of state. Now, my parents were wise enough. I think they talked to some people. I don't know that for a fact, but I told them, you got to send me out of state. They said, but you're the problem. I said, no, I'm aware of this. Okay? I thought you guys were for a long time because I was good with everything. But I'm aware. I'm the problem. I get that. But if you keep me in Tennessee, I know too many people that'll come get me. I didn't have to offer them any money like Bobby did. People were just going to come get me. This is my thought process. Clearly wrong, okay? Ain't nobody going to come get me. I didn't have a single friend in the world. If you're doing drugs and you think you got friends doing drugs with you, it's a lie. They ain't your friends. They're just using you to get drugs, or vice versa, you're using them to get drugs. There's no friends when you're doing drugs. But in my head, I thought, you got to see me out of state. So they did. I went to Las Vegas, Nevada. Sin City. Found God in Sin City. I was at a little facility called Desert Hope. And boy, did I need hope. Spent 30 days there. I was 2 weeks into it, and I called my mom. This is when she knew I was getting back to myself. I called my mom and I said, hey, when you send a care package, I need you to send my Bible with me. And the only reason I asked for a care package was because I turned 26 in rehab. I went in January 4th at 25. I turned 26 January 10th in rehab. Now, I was okay with this because I'm not a big birthday person. Just, like, it's just another day for me, right? It's like another Mother's Day for me. It's like, this is when you became a mom because you had me. Your greatness. It's not that funny, Eric. That's what she tells me all the time. So she sent me a care package with my Bible, some snacks and stuff like that. But that's when she knew I was okay. I got back from rehab February 10th of 2014. No, I'm so sorry. February 3rd of 2014. I connected with a high school buddy of mine. Him and his wife took me in for 2 years. Blessed. I mean, I knew he would take me in, but, I mean, what kind of a crazy woman is going to take in someone's best friend, right? Crazy, but she loved me, and she knew this is what needed to happen. Not only did I need it, but she knew that her husband needed it. We needed each other, because he was going through stuff that I had no idea about. His dad had passed when I was going through my little drug addiction. I went to his dad's funeral. I was high. I don't remember what happened. Didn't keep in contact with him after that. I was an awful, awful best friend. But he took me in. I called him that Tuesday morning when I got back. I was with him Wednesday night, and we went to church. I had no idea what to expect. When I left him, he was basketball shorts, like trying to be thuggish, like white boy from Hall's area. That's how I knew him. He had a car with a sound system, like just bumping, like that was him. He picks me up in a truck. He's got camo stuff in the back, fishing pose, and he's dipping, and he's wearing boots. I'm like, who are you? Because this is not my best friend. He goes, we got a lot to catch up on. From that moment, I knew we were going to be good, because at the time, I was dipping too. So we were good. We stayed out till 4 o'clock that morning. We went to a friend of his from church, played cards, play spades. I'm really good at spades. I'm sure a lot of you are too. If you've ever been to jail or rehab, you play a lot of spades. You become good at spades. You learn to read your partner. You learn different people, pick up on things. But spades is my game. So 4 o'clock, we're just playing spades, just talking. And I mean, from day one, I was sharing my story with people. From day one, I knew what God did in my life. I knew I was never going to turn back. Now, that's not to say I didn't question it. Of course I questioned it. I'm 30 days in. Did I make the right decision? Am I going to fumble? But I stayed with him, and I stayed going to church. I came here on a Monday night, and I haven't left since. Yeah. I walked in these doors almost 7 years ago. And I have been humbled, I have been blessed from day one of being here. Here's what I do differently than a lot of other people do. 6 months in, I started serving. I didn't want to think about myself. I don't know about you guys, up here is not a great place for me. It's very dangerous. So I wanted to serve. I didn't want to think about myself. I wanted to see other people come in. So I was serving at the front door. I stayed connected into a group. Because if you don't have community, you're by yourself. And if you're by yourself, you're up here. And it's not good up here. So you got to serve, and you got to be part of a community. And then after that, it's just repetition. It's that small change making a big change. It's not missing a Monday night because, I don't feel like it. I can tell you right now, I didn't feel like being here tonight. I didn't. True transparency, I'm exhausted today. I think I got too much sleep. I know that sounds weird, but I went to sleep super early last night. I think I got too much sleep. I had a very busy day today. There's a lot going on this week. And I don't know about you, I have a tendency to overthink things. So I'm exhausted. I didn't want to be here. But I knew I had to be here. Some of you are like, yes, it's your job. Yes, it is my job. But I really want to be here. Because I know I need you all. And I'm not going to lie to myself and say, hey, I don't need people on Monday night. I do. I need the conversations. I need the community. I need to hear what you're doing in your life. There's so many people in here that I've talked to who are doing great things with their lives. And I want to know that. I want to know your story. Whether it's your first time here, your 10th time here, your 300th time here. Because I followed what God had for me, because I started serving, because God told me to serve. Trust me, I wouldn't have done it otherwise. Because I stayed connected, God was able to use me. And I went from being in a group to leading a group. And I loved it. I loved those guys. We grew a strong bond. Now, some of them have left and gone to do other things. Others, who are more stubborn, have stuck around with me. I guess they're a glutton for punishment. But I couldn't do life without them. I went from leading a group to being asked to be part of the leadership team here on Monday night. And because of that, because of my obedience, I get to stand on stage and tell you that I'm the Celebrate pastor here on Monday nights. And it's because I was obedient. See, if you keep coming back, you'll hear a lot of people on staff. That's how they became on staff. A lot of us served. A lot of us were just obedient and we did what God asked us to do. And all of a sudden, we got looked at and they're like, we got to have them. They've got something that we need on this team. Now, being a Celebrate pastor, they were just like, I think he's dumb enough to do it. No, it's truly, guys, this is my passion. I've been around for 7 years, and I was telling somebody as I was walking in, it is the shortest, longest time I can ever remember. Honestly, I can't really remember before that. Like I remember these 7 years. So many people got me connected. So many people still pour into me. But it's because of the community. Guys, you've got to get connected into a group. If you learn nothing from last year, you know being isolated is awful. You've got to have a community. You got to be around like-minded people that you can talk to. You got to be around like-minded people that you can call and say, hey, I'm struggling today. Can you talk to me? You have to find you an accountability partner. You got to find someone that you can walk with. Mine's back here. He's stuck with me. He's never going to leave me. He can't. God told me he's never going to leave me. We do life together all the time. We talk probably at least twice a week outside of Monday night. He knows my whole family. He loves all my kids. All of them. And I have 5 of them. And he loves on them. He loves on them like their nieces and nephews, like their grandkids. Like he's helped me out so much in life. But you're not going to find that if you just come here for a service and you leave. You're not going to find that just come for dinner and then head out the door. You have to go to a group.